Why do criminals win election? Yes, you heard that right. In India and in many countries, politicians with criminal background continue to rise in power, often defeating their opponents with less ease. How does this happen? And more importantly, why does this happen? Let's explore. Point number 1. The current political landscape. To understand why criminals win election, we need to first look at the current political landscape. In India, around 14% of elected politicians have criminal charges against them, and about 10% of them are facing charges for serious crime like murder, rape, extortion, and many more. What's even more alarming is that these charges are not just a allegation, okay? They have been officially framed by the court after investigations. So why does this happen? Why we are electing peoples who are under criminal investigations or having a criminal past? Point number 2. The power of money and muscles. One of the primary reasons criminals are able to win election is because they have a lot of money and muscle power. Money plays a crucial role in politics. Elections are expensive. Campaigning, advertisements, rally, and much more. Criminals often have access to black money and underground funding, which allows them to outspend their rivals. This gives them a huge advantage when it comes to getting their message across to the voters. But that's not all. Criminals often have a network of goons and supporters who intimidate voters, capture booths, and manipulate the entire election process. This combination of money and muscle make them an attractive option for political parties. Point number 3. Political parties' dependency on criminals. Now let's talk about political parties. It's no secret that many political parties are desperate for wins. And what do they need to win? Votes. So the reality is that the political parties often prefer a candidate with a criminal background because they can control a large constituencies, have strong networks, and bring in votes through intimidations. Okay? Criminal candidates are seen as a necessary evil for parties to maintain their grip on power. Political parties also use these criminals to garner funds and support through illegal channels. This is why we often see candidates with criminal charges running for election under well-known political banners. Point number 4. The voters' dilemma. Now let's take a look at the other side, the voters. In many parts of India, voters are often forced to vote for candidates with criminal background because they have no other option. A lot of times the choice is between candidate with a criminal past who promises development or a candidate with no support base who cannot deliver. Moreover, in many rural areas, there is a lack of proper education and awareness. Voters are manipulated, threatened, or bribed, and they often vote for these criminals out of fear or coercion. They believe that these criminals will solve their immediate problems like getting a job, fixing their local issues, because they have a power to make things happen. Point number 5. Legal loopholes and lack of accountability. Another factor contributing to this problem is that legal system. In India, politicians are not disqualified from election until they have been convicted. This means that even if a politician has a serious criminal charges against them, they can still run for office as long as the court hasn't convicted them yet. The legal loopholes allows many criminals to remain in the race of election despite their questionable past. Also, the slow pace of judicial proceedings means that even when politicians face charges, it can take years before any action is taken against them. During this time, they continue to stay in power, further consolidating their influence. Point number 6. The systematic issue. The issue is not just with the individuals. Though it's a systematic problem, the electoral system itself encourages the rise of criminals. Money, muscles, and manipulations have become so integrated that in the process that it's difficult to break free from it. A candidate without a criminal record often has a very little chance to winning against a person who has a criminal record. Even though reforms have been suggested to tackle this problem, like making it mandatory for candidates to disclose criminal charges and have them disqualified. These reforms haven't been fully implemented or have been watered down under political pressures. Point number 7. What can we do about it? So what can we do to change this? The solution is not simple, but it starts with awareness. We as a voter need to become more responsible and stop voting for candidates just because they are from our caste, community or party. We need to demand transparency in election funding and press for stricter laws that bar criminals from standing for election until they have been proven innocent in the court. We also need to educate the electorate and build a culture where voters choose leaders based on their capabilities and moral integrity, not just their ability to deliver votes through coercion or manipulation. So what's the conclusion? Let's see. In conclusion, criminals win election because the system rewards money, power and influence over morality and integrity. It's a sad truth, but we have the power to change it. If we make informed decisions, demand accountability and fight for real electoral reforms. If you found this video insightful, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. Okay? और अगर इस वीडियो को अगर हिंदी में चाहिए तो कमेंट करो, मैं यही सेम वीडियो जो है कि वाई क्रिमिनल्स विन द इलेक्शन, यही सेम वीडियो मैं हिंदी में ले आऊँगा. तब तक के लिए स्टे ट्यून एंड सब्सक्राइब.